It would help first of all if I have the mic turned on. Great first start there. Hi Nick, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. It's always exciting when it's finals day on the WTA tour, especially when it's the 1000 final and when it features the two biggest players in tennis.
I'd have to agree with you there. We have the world number one versus the world number two. So statistically, what you said is completely correct. Um, Certainly when it comes to the year 2024, and of course these two are seem to be the most informed clay courters on the planet at the moment. Do you think I'm a bit over exasperating on that statement?
You're not wrong. I mean, it says something when at the two biggest tournaments of the two biggest clay court tournaments of 2024 so far, they've both reached the final. I wouldn't count Rebecca out of that mix just because they were all three of them were in Stuttgart. Rebecca won it, beat Swiatek, ran Aryna very close in Madrid. It's unfortunate that she's not been able to play Rome because we would be seeing what she had, and most likely she probably would have made those semi-finals and made a sort of top four seeds lockout. But certainly in terms of the most amount of confidence, it has to be these two.
No, I tend to agree. Because of course this is some of you who were following it certainly over the last couple of weeks, as Nick just alluded to there. This was of course the final that took place not only two weeks ago in Madrid at the Magic Box as it's called there. And of course, that contest was an incredibly tight one, but went to 3 sets, went to a tiebreaker in that third set, with Swiatek just coming out 9-7 in that tiebreaker. Going into this one, because of course we usually assume, or at least we have some sort of prior results which tell us, or at least give us the assumption that generally Madrid tends to favour Sabalenka, whereas Rome tends to favour Iga. Do you think that could play out in today's contest?
I think it definitely will. I believe Iga's team has been saying that Rome's been playing quicker than last year, but I don't think it's still anywhere near the kind of conditions you would see in Madrid. And I think if you think about how close those two are, Madrid is kind of like the perfect set of circumstances for both of their games to work at their best, because you've got the clay that Swiatek's shots kind of kick up off, and gives her time. And you got Sabalenka with the altitude that allows her powerful balls to kind of swing through the air. Now, Sabalenka's adjusted to the slower clay really well in Rome. We've seen a lot of variety on display from her. Well, not necessarily a surprise. We know she has it, but she's not needed to use it until now. And so it's been very interesting to see. I think with this one, though, I do have to say that she won't be able to hit through the court in much the same way. And that will help Iga just slightly more. So I think you're right. I think that will probably be reflected in how the match progresses. But hey, there's a lot of other variables in the mix that we haven't even begun to touch on yet.
So to you, what could end up being the biggest variable that could decide this match? I've heard some people say that potentially it could be the first serve percentage of Sabalenka, and how that and if that's very high, that may stick her in the game a little bit more, or potentially get her a lot more freer points. But similarly, like you say, do you think this pace of the court be a major deciding factor, maybe in Iga's direction?
I think first serve percentage will be critical for both players. As it always is. And then it's going to be a case of, well, who is better at defending behind their second serve if the first serve is slightly off? Who can compensate for that best? I actually think that Iga's probably slightly better at that than Aryna in general. But, that's that on the day, things can change a lot. You're looking at sort of other factors, how much gas in the tank these two players have. This is like another Sunshine double. They've been playing for two consecutive 2-week tournaments, 4 weeks on the bounce, both of them achieving the final again. And I think that's something to be aware of. Is one of them going to run out of gas? Now, Aryna might be the more likely one of the two, but Iga does have a history of, apart from that Sunshine double she achieved back in 2022, definitely struggling to keep the momentum from one tournament to another. So it could go one of two ways here. I think that's going to be another factor that is the trouble is, unless you're in the locker room and talking to the players, you will not know what kind of state they're in.
And to you, which one of those two factors do you think is most likely? Either that of Sabalenka, who hasn't had, since the Australian Open, hasn't really had that many matches back to back to back, or Swiatek, who hasn't traditionally been able to do a double like this, since, as you mentioned, the Sunshine Double a couple of years back. Which one do you think is more likely to sort of take place?
I had a conversation with Tom Jones on Twitter about it, because he thinks that Sabalenka is more likely to run out of gas because she's had the tougher matches than Iga has, in terms of like she's gone 3 sets far more often. It's been a lot more of a fight. I think it's a slight exaggeration because Rome's been a bit easier for her, apart from Svitolina, where there was a back problem that raised itself. Hasn't been an issue since. I do think she was, like, other than the first set, she was relatively comfortable against Collins. I think one service game in the first set made it closer than it looked. So I don't think it's going to be that big a factor based off Rome. So yeah, out of the two, which is more likely? Maybe Sabalenka because of the back thing, but if it's not raised its head, it's not raised its head. So again, neither of us have insider information on this. So that's the big problem. Is it could be a guess, and the fact is they both play so well against each other. They're both going to be bringing it, and if they both bring it, then one of them just has to be slightly off for them to lose.
I mean, of course, as you say, bringing it. Both players brung it 2 weeks ago. Is it unfair to ask for a somewhat similar level of contest as we saw 2 weeks ago? Are we being too selfish in asking that of these two players?
Not unfair, but perhaps unrealistic. If you look at kind of the historically amazing rivalries that we've had in the past, on the men's side, you've got Djokovic and Nadal, who repeatedly Djokovic and Nadal, or maybe even Federer and Nadal, actually, come to think of it, that's the one's coming to mind, where they had a very similar situation where they were running into each other in almost every big clay court final. And if you think about that Rome 2006 final that they played, the French Open that followed up was good and probably their best French Open final that the two of them played in terms of quality, but was not anywhere near as exciting as that Rome final ended up being. But like you can even see it as well, like in the women's game in the past. I think if you go super far back, Steffi Graf and Monica Seles played the 1992 Roland Garros final, which was incredible and regarded as one of the, if not the greatest women's match ever played. Whereas then the next time they met, which was in the Wimbledon final, was a complete steamroll for Graf. It's not a great comparison because obviously clay, grass, very different, and Seles did have her issues with the surface. But in this situation, I think it's very rare for the follow-up to kind of match what kind of came before in that sense. I mean, look at Djokovic and Nadal. Again, I mentioned that before. They played one of their greatest matches ever in 2018. Wimbledon semi-final. The next time they played in the Grand Slam final, I think the next time they played full stop, was the 2019 Australian Open final, which was very, very one-sided. So I expect this to be competitive. I expect it to be good. But if you're going to think that we're in for the down to the wire, incredible drama-filled match, it's less likely in this situation. But I still think there'll be plenty of highlight-worthy moments.
And you kind of alluded to, actually, as you were talking about different Grand Slam finals. We've had this. This is now the final lineup. We've had it in Madrid. We have it here. What do you think of the probabilities are that we could see, the trilogy, the clay court trilogy of these three taking place in Roland Garros in three weeks' time?
Very high, and I'm very excited about that prospect. I would love to see it. And like, as I said, we've seen it on the men's side in the last few years with Djokovic and Nadal, or Federer and Nadal sort of 15, 20 years ago, where they were playing all the big finals back to back. And they were pretty much nailed in for that. Even Evert and Navratilova back in the very old days. Having said that, so I think it's very likely, and I'm very excited about that prospect. Having said that, I think a lot of that's going to have something to do with Elena Rybakina and what she has to say on the subject, because I've got a feeling that she's out for revenge, definitely against Sabalenka, and very different conditions in Roland Garros that might suit Kazakhstani more. I mean, she's very comfortable on clay. Doesn't actually lose that many matches on clay, actually. Not quite eager level, but has been getting close recently. So that's the one caveat. So whilst we get super excited about this, there is a tall, blonde Kazakhstani woman who hasn't been part of this tournament. And so it's the unknown variable when it comes to Roland Garros.
So in your eyes, Rybakina is almost that cat that could go amongst the pigeons of this potential trilogy. She's the biggest. Is there any other player you think could cause it? I know there's a few Coco Gauff super fans who are determined to stick her in this conversation. Do you think she stands a chance at all of being able to sort of stop this final maybe taking place in 3 weeks' time?
I'm a Coco believer. And the answer is yes, but it would have to be in Sabalenka's half, not Swiatek's half. I think the matchup with Swiatek, especially on slower clay, Iga just does what Coco does better on clay. If Iga wasn't there, Coco would probably already be a Grand Slam champion, would already be a Roland Garros champion, probably even potentially even a Rome champion. But Sabalenka, I could see her being frustrated by Gauff's defensive abilities. The slower clay will suit the American. We saw that she was quite comfortable here in Rome. So, I think if Gauff is in Sabalenka's half of the draw, then yes. And actually, if Gauff's in Sabalenka's half of the draw, that means Rebecca's in Iga's half of the draw, which could produce a very interesting semi-final. I think that would be. She has an opportunity. It's not as big as Rybakina, but I think Gauff has got to be in there. I would also be tempted to say Danielle Collins, but given that she's not really been able to touch Sabalenka when she's got going, that's a lot less likely and maybe a little bit more wishful thinking, but certainly the only other player that I would be willing to give that sort of consideration to.
I mean, we all want the Danimal to continue to roar, as she has been doing at the moment, with a brilliant sort of first half of the season that she's been able to play. Sorry, my voice.
You're struggling today, James.
My voice is. I still got the cough from last week, which is really frustrating. We'll do our best though to sort of talk through it, and hopefully the cough will wither and whine as we go along, and hopefully we'll pop away there. I mean, we're currently coming up to the stroke of 4 o'clock UK time, which is 5 o'clock in the Eternal City. I believe that is the nickname that is always provided to Rome. So hopefully the players will enter the court soon, and then we can start commentating on some action as we get a great shot of the Pietrangeli court. As people are just sitting around it, even though there's no tennis going on. It's such a lovely court that even when no tennis is happening, people still want to flock to it.
I mean, also, there is a sense that if I was there, I would want to make sure I was there in my seat on that court ready and I didn't miss a moment.
Absolutely. Just as we're waiting for play to start, just to go over some general tennis news that we saw a couple of days ago, that the new grass courts calendar for 2020.
Of course, that's going to come up with you, James.
Of course it was. So everyone who follows my Twitter will know how disappointed I am. I'll use a restraint word like that with the calendar. What do you make of? What have you made of it?
I think we've talked a bit about this already on Twitter. I don't hate it. I have mixed feelings about the additional event in Queens. And the reason I have mixed feelings about it is more whilst I can see some positives, such as it's a great opportunity to finally get that grass court 1000. Queens seems to be the one bidding for that. And obviously it's kind of a high profile location for the WTA, and we'll get some eyes on it for the grass court season. I don't necessarily like that everything in the UK is so London centric when it comes to tennis. I understand that the other events around probably couldn't do a 500 other than maybe Nottingham, another 500. But sort of in terms of the way they've kind of shuffled around the rest of the calendar, it makes complete sense to, if they're going to do this. I don't think there's anything that's everything else makes logical sense in my mind. The only other downside is Eastbourne maybe getting downgraded and losing some of the historic status as the Wimbledon warm-up. But I think in recent years, it has become increasingly less relevant for Wimbledon form as players have become increasingly reluctant to do it so close to the actual tournament. I think the only people who've ever done an Eastbourne-Wimbledon double are Martina Navratilova and Jana Novotná. That tells you something. So in my mind, whilst there's a lot of sentimental reasons for not liking it, I think there are some legitimate business and logistical reasons to do it. So I'm waiting to give it a go and see what happens. I certainly don't think it's going to damage any tournaments. Obviously, Surbiton going, I don't know how much that's going to get missed. With me talking about it all being London-centric, you don't need multiple London tournaments. I know it's inconvenient for you, James, but that's just the way it is. Birmingham getting downgraded and moved up. That might mean that I don't go to it as often as I used to, but it's fine because I've always wanted to try Nottingham. I certainly think actually Nottingham may actually benefit from being moved because people weren't choosing to play it so much straight after Roland Garros, whereas making Queens of 500 kind of enforces it. And I think actually Nottingham will still be a very, very good event being moved to where it was, if not slightly better. So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
No, I understand the thoughts. I mean, as you alluded to, as the players are just having their photos taken at the moment, so we'll allow them just to do some warmings up on the court, as you say, at Surbiton. One that's really quite local to me. It's just up the suburban train line. It's a great event. I know I'm saying that as somebody who's been. I know we've had Jamie on as part of the channel. He's gone and covered it for us last year, and I think he's aiming to do it this year as well. It's a great event. It's in a great location. I feel as though it's like a traditional tennis club, and I felt worked really well. It's almost the first grass event, even if it was at a challenger level. It was almost like in the shadows of Wimbledon before then spreading out across Northern Europe to be able to play the events. And it will be a real shame to see and a real miss to see that gone, because it's more down to the fact that it's yet to be yet another venue lost on the calendar of another place that people could go play grass court tennis, and that to me is a shame that small venues are going off. I know Manchester lost its challenger a few years ago as well, and we want to make sure that with grass court events that there are a breadth of them taking place across the certainly Europe or world. And that we're not losing the ability for players to play on the surface as much as possible and really get their footing on the surface, because then Wimbledon will end up suffering because of it, with lesser quality matches, as players don't necessarily have the confidence on the surface or the expertise. As you say, I mean, I have my concerns about Nottingham being moved to where it's going to be for that sort of second week. I get your point absolutely that it's there's now a week gap between Roland Garros finishing and Nottingham beginning, or what will take place in 25. But it will then directly compete with the Berlin WTA 500 event at the same time for those sort of top quality players. Whereas before it didn't have to compete with that sort of event. It was the other 250 into Hergenbosch it was competing against. For players, and generally actually what domestic broadcasters have been able to do is really highlight Nottingham in that sort of first grass court week on TV and on their systems, and they won't necessarily do that now that there'll be a Queens event taking place at the same time, because all the media attention will focus towards Queens and away from those parts there. And I think, as I said, the main Eastbourne being downgraded to a 250 on the women's side. As you say, that big. It's usually seen Eastbourne as that big women's build-up tournament. Queens get the men's, Eastbourne get the women's, and it would just feel as though that men's event that takes place at Eastbourne, because of the rules around 250s on the men's and the women's side, where it's much more easier for top ranked men to play 250s, it will end up becoming majority a men's event than it's that traditional women's event that it has at the moment, with that mixed element with the ATP event. And as I say, less tennis outside of London and north of the UK. So I heard there's some rumblings in our national government that they're not necessarily happy about it, but this is the way. It would be interesting to see if they end up doing anything about it.
I think I will say that on the broadcasting point, I actually think Nottingham has always been consigned to the iPlayer on the BBC, and so is Birmingham. I don't think the broadcasting attention is going to change that much, regardless of where it's being played. Yeah, I think that would be where I would go with. That's the only thing I would disagree with you on that point. But I still don't think it's going to be a disaster. But like we need to focus on Rome because they're currently
Yes.
third.
Sorry about that, everyone. Two Brits on the call. Of course, we're going to talk about grass courts. Sorry about that, Nick. So they are just finishing off their serving practice at the moment, and then they'll be getting straight on to it. Quick prediction: who are you going to go for victory, and how many sets is it going to be, Nick?
Eager in 2 close sets.
Eager in 2 close sets. I'm gonna be a little bit off cuff, and I'm going to go for Sabalenka in 3. Why not? Okay.
We are going different directions. We thought we had a third person on the stream, by the way, but as soon as I added her, she goes. So hopefully Biola will join us soon. But be aware she may have some power issues where she is. So we're going to play the comments. Matthew agreeing with me so far. Also thinking Eager in 2. Biola, how do you see this match going?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
I actually think Sabalenka might get her revenge today. I believe she's had a pretty good tournament. She's definitely improved since Madrid, and I think she's really desperate for this one. I think it's not going to be easy. She's never beaten Iga in straight sets, so I think Sabalenka in 3.
Interesting. Well, I think that's probably about the way that we're going in the direction we are.
That's my prediction. We're ganging up on Nick. I'm liking this.
Because I approve of the grass court changes. Well, so far, Iga got the first point after Sabalenka puts a backhand long.
Yes, for 2 points actually. Love 30 now.
Is it possible that Biola's even more ahead than us, James? What are you seeing?
I'm still on the second point, and cross court, forehand cross court, out by Sabalenka, and now it is 30 love 30 Swiatek.
You're behind me, James.
I'm behind.
I don't know how.
Oh, come about. Why is it that I'm always the one behind?
I don't know.
I think I might be a little ahead of you guys in the moment.
All right. Okay. Well, Sabalenka gets her first point on the board after a big serve produces an eager error. What was that, James?
I was saying Eager just hit a forehand long.
Yeah. Okay, we might be back on track there. Bear with us, people. We are calibrating.
Yeah, some people may have to pause. Unfortunately, luckily for me, not me.
I can't because I'm on our TV.
Oh,
yeah. Well, at the minute, it's going a similar way to the Madrid opener as Sabalenka hits a massive forehand cross-court winner.
That was an excellent winner, that one.
Going very similarly to how Madrid went, in that, Sabalenka did struggle a little bit opening serve in the first service game because she served first in that one. And then Iga immediately just conceded the break the advantage in the next game. So maybe, but Sabalenka's just moved to 40-30 with an ace, so maybe she can avoid that exact same start.
Well, that was an excellent ace out wide. Really took some swing on it. It was Cam Norrie-esque, as I like to use.
Cam Norrie is not the standard of player which should be matching up to here.
It took me 25 minutes to make that reference. There we go. Right.
I don't even need an excuse to make an Iga Swiatek reference. We're talking about her anyway. It'd be very hard to commentate on this match and not mention her.
Absolutely. I mean, what is it we could say? That Polish player down the end, world number 1. Something Iga. And Sabalenka ends up holding there.
Yeah. Good hold from Love 30 there. I think her serving was incredible after going Love 30 down. She definitely needed that ace at the time, and it came at a good time.
Viola, would you better do me a favour? Could you just turn down your volume on your TV? Just to get some feedback from me
Okay.
on the stream, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's done. Thank
Oh,
you.
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, don't want to get taken off.
No, we don't want to get copyright strike. John would not forgive us if he did that.
Terry here. I'm assuming you are predicting an Iga win, Terry. I'm not sure how reluctantly or not, but interesting. Obviously, we've had Neurodev earlier on Twitch who is supporting Sabalenka. Yeah, should be an interesting one. Yeah, we've got some interesting openers here as some lucky fans just picked up a ball.
And putting it in their pocket. I don't know why I get excited about that, just because he's been a sneaky sod.
Not so sneaky if he's on TV. I don't think anyone saw that. We all saw it, sir.
Yeah,
please.
The international audiences saw that, lad. It's unfortunately a bit like that guy's water bottle fell on Djokovic. Like his head's now been like plastered all over social media.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, people. I highly doubt anyone's going to recognize him walking down the street or anything like that.
Okay, so Swiatek though 15 love up. Oh, that was a wild backhand down the line though by Swiatek. I say wide, it was just slightly long.
Yeah, a bit of both, really.
Bit of both. That's a good.
The trajectory was not good either way.
Please make sure as well in the chat if you've got any questions about the match or anything to do with tennis or whatnot. Do put it in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer. If it's very WTA specific, of course, I'll instantaneously give it to Nick to answer.
You don't underplay yourself as a WTA expert. That's a mega winner from Iga Swiatek.
That's a brilliant one there.
There was nothing Sabalenka to do about that.
That's an outside out. That's an outside out forehand, that one. Thanks for the compliment, Nick. I'll take it. Viola, are you a WTA specialist or mixture or ATP?
Are you referring to me?
Say that again, sorry.
I think I am both, but I definitely lean towards the WTA most of the time. I think I've had phases when it comes to tennis, but at the moment, I'm definitely enjoying the WTA more. Definitely.
Yeah. I tell you what, I think this clay court season, I think the majority of the tennis world would agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and I think it's been that way for the last couple of years, really. I think women's tennis is just really in a good place, and it's super duper exciting to watch, no matter who is playing, really. So the WTA just excites me at the moment.
Tell you what, just had Iga was able to be really controlling off a second serve, which is brilliant to see if you're a coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Her ability to back herself up despite not necessarily having a serve that's a world beater is really impressive. Actually, she's that
was just a brilliant point there that showcased it. Literally shoved Sabalenka across that rally from coast to coast. When it comes to the positioning on the court, just to get that point win and get the mistake out the Sabalenka racket.
And this is what Iga's able to do so well in these kind of slower clay court conditions. Go on, Biola.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about her serve, and I usually joke that I think it's okay she doesn't have a great serve. Because if she did, she would be totally unplayable. She's already so dominant. And if she had Rybakina's serve, for instance, it would be almost a cheat code, really. So I think it's just fair that her serve isn't great.
Do you think Rybakina's got the better serve, like the best serve on the WTA tour then?
I would say one of the best. Top 3 at least. So yes, definitely, and it's her major strength. So yes, she definitely has one of the best serves, the most frightening serves on the WTA tour.
Um, would you say the other two are?
The other two, I think I would put Sabalenka there somewhere, but it's on and off when it comes to her serve, really. When it comes to Sabalenka, and who would I put in number 3? I don't know. If I'm looking at this year, I think Daniel Collins might have his say in that. Yeah.
Surely,
For sure.
surely Ostapenko has to have a bit of a you know.
Ostapenko's serve's not that great. Her ground
Is it
strokes are
not?
huge. Her serve isn't amazing.
Maybe because I watched one
Yeah.
of the matches during the indoor hard court swing, the mini one they had, where it seemed very lethal. But putting it out there, just putting it out there.
Danger points for Sabalenka, by the way, as she's disputing a first serve. Umpire's confirming it is wide, so it's second serve at love 30.
Yeah.
Iga's definitely the one getting into this at the minute.
Yes, Iga is definitely winning more points at the moment, and I think this is where Sabalenka really needs to be careful so she doesn't face. Oh, I think my screen might be faster than you guys. So low 40 right now.
I'm just
We've
seeing
got a rally going on.
Yeah, just seeing cross court forehand to forehand as Sabalenka's being forced into an error.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Would you call that a forced or an unforced error? I mean, Sabalenka was trying to change direction, which I think was the right choice, but it was a difficult shot to navigate. But on the other hand, maybe if she'd been a little bit more percentage with it, she could have got it in. Could go either way.
I think right idea, wrong execution there.
3 break points for Iga Swiatek. Go on, James.
Yeah, I'd say down the line. Wouldn't work out there. God, sorry about that, my cough.
Right, second serve, Sabalenka. Goes out wide, backhand cross court from Swiatek. Right, Sabalenka's feet, and Sabalenka drags the forehand wide. Iga breaks to love, and she's shaking her fist and looking very comfortable right now.
Okay.
Question.
Good question that's just popped up from Derek. Do you think Saba has to win the first set?
Oh. I'd say she does. If she's going to win, whether in straight sets or in 3 sets, like I predicted, she definitely has to win the first set. She's already behind at the moment, so she definitely can still come back into this. But winning the first set would definitely be important. Definitely, give her some motivation that she can win this.
Yeah, and go on.
No, so I say go on, Nick. I said, would you tend to agree with that statement?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And for the reason that Derek's kind of just said, is that Iga lost a Masters 1000 match from us after the first set. So I think that, at the minute, I think the momentum would have to be with Iga. If Iga gets the momentum, it's going to be very hard for Sabalenka to wrestle it back, especially again on clay. So I wouldn't say it was game over. We saw that Mukova reset the whole match in the Roland Garros final last year. But I think
you just have to remind us of that.
Well, yes. Capricorn asking, what are the conditions like? Is it hot and sunny?
Let me get up my weather app, which is always the fun one because it looks sunny, but
it does look sunny.
But it has been overcast in Rome earlier on today. So the Met office is saying that at the moment it is around about 24 degrees, sunshine with potential cloud. There's a 30% chance of rain though coming up.
This is Celsius, right, James? We do have an audience who don't necessarily use Celsius.
Yeah, yeah, that's Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Neither do I. Because we don't use them.
Let me look that up as
well.
well.
We use Celsius here too. We use Celsius here too.
Okay. But yes, I think the answer to that question is based on what we're looking at, based on what Terry's saying, based on the weather app. It is hot and sunny.
And just for those audience members who love the degrees Fahrenheit, I don't know who you are, why you would do that, but hey ho, it is 75.2 degrees.
There we go. For those
Luckily, not Celsius, otherwise the players would boil alive.
And everyone else.
Oh.
What are you reacting to, Biola?
It's Sabalenka getting really frustrated and throwing her rackets.
Okay. Yeah, she just jumped off the net. That's why.
Yeah, she's not happy about that. She's not happy about the start overall.
No, why would she be? I mean, it's just not. I think she's struggling. I think she's only won 5 points this whole match so far.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still pretty early in the match, but do you guys think we could possibly still get the kind of epic we got in Madrid? Is it too late to get that?
It's never too far away.
Asking for too much.
It's never too far away from that with these players.
No, I mean, if they both bring a 9.5 out of 10 level, then certainly the ingredients are there. But is it too much to expect Lightning to strike twice in the same strike twice? Maybe. And at the moment, Sabalenka is kind of showing that maybe that Lightning isn't in her at this point.
Yeah, Derek's saying that Sabalenka's not played any of her drop shots yet, despite playing a lot during the tournament. I mean, the drop shot it's very difficult. Go on, Biola?
Yeah, I think she has been playing more drop shots than usual here, but I don't know how that might really work against Iga today. I don't know. I think maybe she should just pull it out and try it. We never know.
Okay, we've got a disputed call going on here. Sabalenka's hit a forehand cross court.
That did look
Iga's
out.
saying it's out. And it is. 40-15, Sabalenka not happy with the situation. And I mean, frankly, Iga's kind of getting away with this at the minute a little bit. I mean, like, she's playing super well, but don't get me wrong, but she is kind of having to work with a really poor start on her first serve. If you look at the stats, she's at 22%.
Ouch. And
yet
she's a break up.
Yeah. and goes back to saying
exactly why I said it would be, ridiculous if she had a great serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Iga just wins can win without necessarily having her serve as a weapon. Missed the backhand cross court though, 40-30.
That's a bit of a rarity.
Yeah, again off the second serve there. But yeah, I think if Iga stays solid and cuts the unforced errors, that should be enough. But any unforced error is going to give Sabalenka hope. Any loss of concentration or intensity.
And
yeah, another second serve.
That was a wild first hand.
Yeah, that's first serve's not working for her right now. I mean, it's only a second service game. There's time to improve. But yeah, great return off Sabalenka, who put herself on the front foot there, and then follows up with a forehand up the line to get a winner. Deuce.
Okay, the Aryna's starting to come back in this.
I mean, look, we're 2 games to 1 up. We shouldn't really be writing Aryna off at any point during this match.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, even if she does lose the first set, I would not be writing Sabalenka off just yet. Not till game, set, and match.
Pretty much, yeah. So we're into a juice round at the minute. Sabalenka's gone long with the backhand.
Unnecessary, that.
Yeah, maybe a little too ambitious.
By the way, I do need to apologise, James. I feel like I've taken over the commentary. I said I wouldn't do that.
Hey, with my voice box as it is, play on.
You do seem to be struggling a
No,
bit.
this is fine.
Yeah, it's probably unfortunate I have to leave at 5. But yeah, Swiatek advantage, but she's got to do another second serve, and she's abandoning that ball toss. So we'll have to see how she gets through this one. Second serve out wide to Sabalenka, backhand, which is way long. Sabalenka not dealing with that kicker well, and 3-1 Swiatek, despite making a lot of herself.
Halfway to the first set.
I feel like if Swiatek picks up that first serve percentage, she's going to be very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, she definitely would be. I think I'm seeing maybe a little too many signs of frustration from Sabalenka, and her body language isn't great at the moment. She definitely needs to work on that because it could definitely affect her mentally. Seems like it kind of is actually already.
Yeah, she's just missed the first serve. She's missed a forehand going out wide, and she's shouting herself a little bit. So she's just got to get herself together. Otherwise, this set could run away from her very, very quickly. Capricorn asking questions about Collins. I commentated on that match against Sabalenka. I don't think she looked tired. I just think Sabalenka was just better on the day. And I don't have any concerns for her. I do think she should be pulling out of Strasbourg, though.
Is Collins playing Strasbourg?
She's on the entry list for Strasbourg.
Jesus, wow. She's also played a lot of tennis. Yeah, like you say, take the week off. It's a weird one, really, because a lot of American players do tend to, especially on the European swing, tend to play every week they can, just because they can't really go back to the US.
Yeah, but it's really been a busy year for Danielle Collins, and I think she should probably skip Strasbourg and go straight to Roland Garros. Really, it's been a very busy year for the American.
And if you think about Danielle, one of the reasons she's stopping is she's finding it difficult maintaining the intensity of continuing week after week on the tour. So you would think, given it's her last year, she doesn't need to. She shouldn't feel the need to do that so much, especially given what she's doing right now.
I mean, unless she's looking at the what is the word I'm looking for? Perhaps maybe she's looking at the Wimbledon and wanting to get enough points to potentially be maybe a top 8 seed.
I mean, maybe, but you could get that from Roland Garros. There are players with points dropping off, and actually big opportunity during the grass court season itself, where a lot of her competitors have a big chunk of points about to drop. I'm thinking of Jabeur, but also Ostapenko, who both won tournaments. Swiatek going along with a forehand back to 30 all on the Sabalenka game, service game. So there we go. So far, maybe a couple of points from Swiatek, kind of getting Sabalenka back into this. So far, has to be said, I wasn't. I think if she kind of finishes off, she just with a backhand up the line, which forces Sabalenka to defend, goes again for the backhand up line to the Sabalenka forehand, who loops it over the baseline. Break point for Swiatek for a double break, and there's a come on from the pole. She's motivated. She knows that she needs to keep Sabalenka down and not let her get back up.
She wants to do the Madrid-Rome double. She's determined.
Who's the last person to do the Madrid-Rome double? Maybe I should look that up.
That's a good question. Thank you, Nick. You've given me another research task.
Yeah, well, you go do that. Whilst we see if Iga can break here. Backhand cross-court from Sabalenka, forcing Iga to go back behind, and she puts the backhand into the net. Break point saved by Sabalenka. Deuce. Maybe a critical game here, because if Sabalenka comes through, that's going to boost her confidence a little bit. Deuce in Rome. Sabalenka.
Okay, there's two women that have done it.
Okay.
What?
Dinara Safin is one of them. I know that, back in 2009.
Oh, you jammy sod. Yeah, you got that straight off the get-go. What year was that, Nick?
2009.
Oh, Nick.
It's only because that's where the famous, she did win Rome and Madrid quote came from for Serena Williams.
And then you can probably guess the second one, Aryna, can't you?
Oh, it's Serena, right?
Yep. Can you guess the year?
2013.
I mean, it's encyclopedic.
I don't know why I bothered asking the question, but I think I just didn't have the brain power to kind of go back at that particular moment.
Can you name the men? There's two men.
Two men. Well, Rafa.
Yeah. What
Rafa's
year?
Wait,
You did
2010.
it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, 2010, and I think. Oh gosh, what was the other year he did it? 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
Both Serena and Nadal did the Madrid-Rome double, both in 2013. Can you name the other man?
Okay. Djokovic. 2011.
Yeah, what year? Yeah,
2011.
the year he basically won everything.
Mm.
Good work there, Nick. If we were handing out talking tennis house points, you pick up 20.
I don't know what house I have, but there we'll go. Hopefully we'll have Viola back soon, by the way.
Where's Viola gone?
She has a lot of power cuts in her area. She is coming to us from Nigeria and is kind of notorious over there. Sabalenka comes through that service game, by the way, so holds for 2-3 to keep the pressure up on Swiatek.
As I get an advert on my screen for the Tyson Fury Usyk fight.
Genuinely have no interest in that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I apologize to any boxing fans in the chat. It's an interesting sport, but I have no particular interest in this particular fight.
I think I'm going to be up for that fight, definitely.
Well, Iga's now serving. She's going to have to hope that her first serve percentage gets better, because if not, Sabalenka's going to be all over it as the Belarusian's growing in confidence. So this is not a done deal for Swiatek, who doesn't want to be dwelling on the fact she missed opportunity to get a double break. Sabalenka gets a return in play off the first serve. Wonderful kick forehand from Iga, and Sabalenka is forced to slice it into the net. 15-love.
Yeah, good work there from Iga. As we get a good shot of the scratch, the centre court, the Foro Italico, and how steep it is.
I have to say, it is one of my favourite stadiums to look at on TV.
It does.
Yes, it has such a beautiful view, especially when you're looking at it from above. It's incredible, really.
30-love, Swiatek. So that was an unreturnable serve for the pole.
Yeah, I think she heard you there, Nick. She definitely heard you.
Come on, well, she's missed that one, unfortunately. Missed that first. Second serve incoming for Swiatek, who is going to second serve up the tee. Sabalenka goes for the backhand, puts it in the net. And again, I think Sabalenka's struggling with the height that Iga's balls are giving her. A lot of them she's giving her shoulder height balls, which means that Sabalenka can't necessarily fully swing through as she would like. And they just got a second serve, one sat on the board. 64% for Swiatek, 50% Sabalenka. Forehand cross court for Swiatek. Sabalenka's up the line with her forehand. Cross court, Swiatek with the backhand. Very short. Sabalenka's going to drop shot us. Iga's going to come in, try and pass Sabalenka, but it was a really awkward pickup. 40-15.
Yeah, the drop shots arrived.
It's about time. And that's time. We're talking about whether it would work. It did work that time, and it was because Iga was a little bit out of position. She was quick enough to reach it, but it was dying as she reached it. But let's face it, she did beat the drop shot queen on Jabeur on this court 2 years ago in the final. In dramatic for Iga circumstances in the second set, fending off a comeback from the Tunisian. But second serve again for Swiatek here at 40-15. First serve has ended up in the net. Sabalenka's ready and waiting to see if she could pull off a 40-love comeback in this game. Backhand cross court to the Iga forehand, who goes cross court to Sabalenka forehand. attack, puts it over the baseline, and it's game Swiatek 4-2.
Fairly straightforward service hold there for Swiatek on that one, given the issue she had on her last service game.
Yeah, I think any problems that Iga's currently having, she's currently giving herself more than anything else. And the same thing for Sabalenka, actually. To a certain extent. Although, like I said, she is struggling with some of the higher balls that Iga's giving her.
Yeah, but I think Sabalenka is probably making a little more errors than she should be. Like you said, she's putting herself in a bit of trouble.
Backhand cross-court for Sabalenka is putting Iga on the defense, but Iga gets it back. Forehand up the line for Sabalenka, leaves Iga flat-footed, 15 love, and there's a reward on the plate.
The power on that cross-court rally there. Jeez.
Yeah.
For both players, yeah, absolutely. Like both players, really great hitting on display, and that's what we saw in Madrid, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Sabalenka.
I don't think the Madrid final really became, so epic until the second set. So I am still kind of hoping we get something like that. Yeah, I know I'm probably a little greedy.
I mean, the first set was kind of scrappy, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was. But the second set was really where the epic began.
15-all, by the way. So Swiatek kind of again trying to put the pressure on, trying to get a double break. Sabalenka puts the first serve into the net. Definitely very frustrated with herself on that. Interesting. Is that only 50% points won on her first serve? That's an insane stat according to what James has got on the screen for us. Thank you for doing that, James.
No problemo.
Sabalenka double faulted again. She's double faulted again.
Yes, another double fault.
I think Iga's won at least 2 points in every Sabalenka service game.
True. I don't think we've seen Sabalenka go 40-15.
No, she's had to come from behind at every service game, I think. Even the one that she won. I mean, she's only been broken once.
From love 30 twice.
There's a disputed call on the baseline. Iga's saying that her Iga's saying the ball around the baseline. It was good. It did look good. Now the question is that a replay or a point for Iga? I think they're gonna have to replay it because Iga doesn't look super happy with the outcome.
Yeah,
but accepting it.
Playing the point.
Yeah, they're replaying it. I mean, it's unfortunate. I think, Sabalenka would have struggled with that anyway, but there was a certain sense that she would have backed off because of the call. So I think it's the right decision to replay.
Agreed.
What kind of replay are we going to get here? Sabalenka follows up with a +1 forehand. Going to come in behind it, puts the backhand into the net on the volley. I think he's got break points again.
Uno, dos.
She's in trouble again.
Break point.
James, that's Spanish. We need you to speak Italian.
What's two in Italian? I was trying to think.
Does anyone here speak Italian?
Mario's going to kill me.
Definitely not me.
That's true. It's not like we have a resident Italian on the team.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding, Mario was, I don't know, Canadian.
Backhand up the line from Swiatek. I'm trying to get this break point. Forehand cross court. Somehow finds it inside the line. Goes up the line with that. Forehand again, pressuring Sabalenka. That's not going to reach the net. It doesn't reach the net,
and it's a double break.
Up.
And that's the break. Another break.
Wow. Okay.
Sabalenka really not feeling happy there. I mean, in some ways, if Swiatek had converted, Swiatek's probably. I mean, I don't know, because Sabalenka fought really well to defend the break point she had a couple of games back. But if you were a perfectionist Swiatek fan, you'd be looking at it going, that set could have been 6-1. There will be perfectionists out there.
Well, I think it's a good thing it's not 6-1. This is a final between world number one and world number two. I don't think any of us would want it to go, that straightforward.
I mean, if Iga had a lead in every single game, could have even been 6-love.
Mm-hmm.
It would be
Yes.
super nitpicky. Which is a testament to how good Sabalenka is that she's not allowed it to be that, because there's definitely most of the tour would have crumbled by this point.
Yeah.
True. I think anyone else, if it wasn't Sabalenka, maybe Bakina on the other side of the net would have, received a bagel or breadstick by now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the level Iga Swiatek produces in finals, right? She is.
Yes, it is.
I think she's only lost 3 finals in her career.
Yeah, and she's won the last 7.
She won the last 7 finals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she lost the Madrid final last year. What other final did she lose?
She lost.
She lost Ostrava to Petrikova. Yes, Ostrava to Petrikova.
Twice. Ostrava and
that was one of my favorite finals in the last couple of years. Really.
That Ostrava final was excellent. I remember it. Like, whoa,
amazing.
That's another list. That's also the list of finals that I didn't watch live, James.
Oh, gee, Nick, where are you?
You usually always have other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I have a life outside tennis, James.
Yeah, but yeah.
But it annoys me too that I don't catch these matches.
Yeah, it's always so painful whenever I miss matches like that for one reason or the other, and I hear, "Oh my goodness, it was such a great match," and I wonder, where was I? How could I have missed that? Yeah, it hurts a lot when that happens.
Iga's just served her first double fault, so it's 15-all. Yeah.
That leads to a good question, actually. What was the best final that you ended up missing because you had pre-engaged somewhere else?
I mean, potentially the final from 2 weeks ago.
A bit of recency on there for Nick. All right, what about you, Viola?
I think I missed part of the Sabalenka-Rybakina final at the Australian Open last year. Yes, I missed part of that. I think I came in 2 games to the end of the match, and I was so upset. But I've watched that final like 100 times since then.
I mean, if you would, like, I didn't catch the Alcaraz-Sinner match from 2 years ago at the US Open, that 5-setter they had. That's because I was asleep.
Oh,
I remember watching that final set on the bus on the way to work in the morning. I mean, that was crazy how late that went.
I woke up just after that final set finished. Set points for Iga Swiatek, 40-15, 5-2 advantage.
Take the first set.
Here we go. Swiatek serves up for the body, and that gets the job done. Great body serve from Swiatek on the first serve. Improves her first serve percentage to 39%. Most players would not win a set with that lowest first serve percentage. But on clay right now, on the ground, don't get into a rally with Iga Swiatek. She leads in this Rome final, 6-2.
She does.
I think
you might just give you my answer of the final I potentially lost as we go. So then we'll go back to it. I missed the final set of the Alcaraz Djokovic Cincinnati final because it went on so late. I had to go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that because I missed the first 2 sets.
So
between the 2 of you, you've got it covered.
We covered it.
I missed the first 2 sets.
I was asleep.
And I was asleep.
I haven't seen any of it. I don't think I've gone back and watched it, actually.
I have gone back. I was really ill at the time. I was ill. My son was ill at the same time. So I slept through it.
Well, hopefully no one's sleeping through this final, although I don't know if there's anything that anyone would say that they missed if they had. But I guess what would you say has been kind of the key here for why has Iga won this set so convincingly? Basically, is the question.
I mean, that is a big key question. I think unforced errors and mistakes. I think, as Nick, as you alluded to at the start of the show, the court conditions really are playing a factor here. Swiatek just has so much more time on the ball than she did 2 weeks ago, and it's really leading to her being the main dictator almost in a lot of these rallies. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think she's just solid on all fronts, apart from her serve, which is, almost always the case. I think Sabalenka, I mentioned her body language really. I think it's more of a mental issue. She's making a little too many errors, and she's probably just shooting herself in the foot, really. I don't think Iga is doing too much, really. I don't
She's
think
doing
she's
enough.
doing too much.
She's
Just
doing enough.
doing about enough. Yes.
Which probably suggests that if Sabalenka steps it up, Iga's got room to step it up too.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when the gloves really come off and the fireworks come out, and I'm running out of metaphors. Sabalenka's gone off court, by the way, unsurprisingly. Weirdly, I saw the match clock, 38 minutes for that set. So there's a certain element where it's been somewhat competitive, given that I don't think, even though Iga's won a lot of the points, they haven't necessarily come easy. Though there seems to have been a lot of time between points as well, possibly due to how many sort of missed first serves there have been. I mean, look at the stats we have on the screen. I am interested to see what the WTA give the unforced error count from Sabalenka, just to try and get some more detail on it. But Sabalenka getting 43% win percentage on her first serve. Now, if you saw that stat, yeah, it's super low. That's way too low.
That's way too low.
And Derek's saying that Iga's 39% on first serves and no break point faced, which is true. So I guess my thing is, with looking at those stats in a vacuum, is the 43% win percentage for Sabalenka due to Sabalenka not doing enough with the first serve, or Iga being mega on the return? And is the 39% with no break points saved down to Iga being smart on the second serve, or Sabalenka not doing enough on the return? Turn to two questions there and two very long-winded ones.
Oh, I don't know.
Back on court.
Oh. I think Sabalenka is not doing enough on the return, but at the same time, it's Iga here, I guess. I guess that's really the only way to put it.
I think it's to do with the kind of second serve she's getting from Swiatek. But having said that, she should still be at least making those back in court. And then with the first serve percentage thing, I think we know how good a returner Swiatek is. And so we would expect her to get a lot of returns in court, even off first serves. And especially, again, in these kind of conditions, which aren't helping Aryna. Iga is helping Aryna, though. She's put the backhand wide after having a good opportunity in that rally to win. Love, as we're back on the match. But yeah, I would say it's kind of a combination here of I'm willing, and which is why I'm asking the question if you guys, but like, I'm putting this on great returning from Iga and smart second serves with an element of Sabalenka not necessarily returning great. Inside out forehand winner Sabalenka 30 love. This is the first service game where she's gone up early on.
Yes, feels like she's come out firing for this second set, which she definitely needs to do. She kept hitting that angle till she got the winner.
She's hit the reset button, which is what she needed. Second serve, though, for Sabalenka, who goes body, backhand, forehand from Iga, then gets another forehand short, forehand Sabalenka, backhand Swiatek back to the forehand of Sabalenka, is going cross into court, into the net. Unforced error there from Sabalenka.
Okay.
I mean, she just whacked that into the net.
Yeah, she didn't really swing through it. Her brain went, hit a winner, and wasn't thinking about the stroke too much.
Winner, winner, no chicken dinner.
Yeah, a little bit too flat on that stroke.
Or are you going to say my joke there, Nick, was a little bit too flat?
No, because why would I? Because I'm not going to insult you like that, James. Especially since I would probably end up making that same joke. I'm return serve from Sabalenka, 40-15.
Good, sir.
Go, Biola. We made it. Sabalenka's got to 40-15.
Yay!
Nobody's
Finally,
giving-
it's long enough.
Nobody was giving her a tennis ball, though.
Serve clock counting down in Rome, but Sabalenka gets the first serve out, and yeah, the first serve was out, and it was well out. So trying to get out wide on that first serve. Second serve incoming. Swiatek backhand in play. Backhand Sabalenka cross court wide, very wide, 40-30, and Iga continues her trend of winning at least 2 points in every Sabalenka service game.
That was just rushed. That just was rash and rushed and
all sorts.
All sorts. Yeah, it was a box of all sorts.
And actually, Sabalenka's dressed like an all sort, but she gets that inside-out forehand winner to get the game. Holds to open. Oh, Saba's got a time violation according to Derek.
Oh, we got it on silent, so we don't know about the time violations, but interesting.
It doesn't surprise me. She's trying to set things right. Let me see these stats. So the WTA stats have given Aryna Sabalenka 12 unforced errors.
12. So Iga's 5.
Yeah. Which still, and Iga's still, like, most of Iga's points have been won by her according to those stats, because, no, that's 18 points that she's won by hitting winners or forcing errors from Sabalenka, whereas Sabalenka's only hit 11 winners or forced Iga to make errors.
Sabalenka's doing better on a second serve than a first serve. How is that possible?
Yeah, didn't really look like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. What do you think makes a good second serve?
Good bit.
Interesting.
Go on, Bia. I'll get you answer first.
I usually would say it should be bigger than the first. Bigger, smarter than the first. So, yes. I know it might be, especially if you miss the first serve, might be easy to double fault there, but should definitely be bigger than the first.
Okay.
I think kick. If you can really stick some kick into your serve and get it out the strike range of your opponent and basically neutralize them straight from the get-go, that makes a brilliant second serve.
Are you copying Ghosty's answer here, James?
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Hello. Hey, Ghosty.
Yeah,
good to see that we're agreeing on this.
Sure, you thought of that independently. We'll go with that.
I was looking at the screen. I wasn't looking at Ghosty's answer. It was my independent thought.
A lot of time between first and second serves here is Iga's abandoning that ball toss on the second serve, and her kick serve's been very good this first set, drawing a lot of errors. There's another kicker getting a backhand cross court from Sabalenka. Iga's monstrous backhand cross court sets up a moonball from Sabalenka. It forehand up the line from Swiatek. That's a clay court right there.
Oh, that was a Tesla cannon of a shot. Crikey, that was a Fallout reference. Sorry, everyone. Jeez, that was good.
And that's something that, again, there's a key difference. Iga's a lot more comfortable from hitting balls at shoulder height compared to most players, I would say. That's pretty key to some of her success, because she can still get tremendous spin off of it, despite that. Of course, you're highlighting this comment, James.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Monstrous forehand from Sabalenka's getting Iga on the defense. Forehand cross court to Sabalenka up the line forehand, but not a lot of pace on it. Backhand cross court from Iga. Backhand up the line from Sabalenka to the open court. 15-30. This is the first opportunity.
Yeah, beautiful from Sabalenka. Yeah, she's definitely hitting with more conviction now.
Now we're seeing the winners. Now we're seeing the rallies we want to see.
There's definitely a sense that...
Sure, we can't get that epic.
Sabalenka's woken up.
Yeah, she has.
Do not wake up the tiger.
No, definitely not. Oh, it's a. Oh, I was going to say it's a good serve from Iga, but I think that might have been a. No, it's a second serve. Just wide. Just wide. She's not questioning it. So we've got a second serve from Swiatek to defend, and maybe that first serve percentage is going to come back to bite her. And Swiatek serves middle of the box, inside that forehand, winner from Sabalenka of the return. Break points for the Belarusian. We might have a match here, people.
Yes, 2 break points.
That is sort of angle you see on a maths exam. That was brilliant.
I love that, James. Yes, Ghosty, you are you're hearing Biola's voice, by the way. You're not hearing things. Please keep your eyes fixed on the road.
Hi, Ghosty.
Yeah. Swiatek's got the first serve in play, backhand up the line. Oh, huge winner from Swiatek on the backhand.
Oh, anything
30,
you can
40.
do, I
Good
can
way
do
to
better.
score 1 break point.
I think that's 4 consecutive winners from both players. Second break point to defend though for Swiatek.
I mean, that's like in darts where one player hits a 180 and then another player hits a 180. Same again. Just raising each other's game with each stroke.
First serve out wide from Swiatek is unreturnable. As Sabalenka's return has gone over the baseline, we're back to deuce. 2 break points saved. So it's deuce for this game in Rome. Can Swiatek dig herself out of trouble here? Goes body serve at the first serve. Sabalenka gets it back in play. Backhand for Swiatek. The Sabalenka forehand. That's too good from Sabalenka, and that's yet another winner.
Another break point.
We've had winner, unreturnable serve, winner. Great game.
Sabalenka definitely has to break here, right?
Oh, for sure. That's going to give her a lot of confidence. Swiatek's first serve percentage is creeping up. She's going to need it now. Gets the first serve into the net. So it's a second serve for the pole.
Danger.
Here we go. As my stream has frozen. No, we're unfrozen. As Swiatek unfreezes from her service motion and goes to the second serve, kicks it to the inside that final Sabalenka. Swiatek goes up the line with a winner on the backhand to save another point. 2 out of 3 break points saved by backhand winners. What a game this is.
Tell you what, a coach can't deal with this at the moment.
Yeah. Thomas Swiatek is fairly unflappable. But even he sometimes looks a bit frustrated by situations his player finds herself in. First serve is long from Swiatek. Umpire confirming. Second serve for Swiatek. She's having a difficult game here. Goes for the second serve. Kicks it up. Sabalenka goes on the attack with the forehand. Cross court from Swiatek for Sabalenka forehand again, putting Swiatek under pressure. Sabalenka's going to come off the short ball, go for the winner, go back behind on the forehand of Swiatek. Finish off with the backhand up the line. Swiatek stranded. Advantage Sabalenka.
It just feels like the stabilizers are off the Sabalenka racket at the moment. She is just going for it.
I think she might get that breakthrough very soon. I mean, the fourth should definitely be it, right?
Fourth break point chance. I feel like if Sabalenka doesn't break here, it's a massive missed opportunity for her. Swiatek needs a first serve here. It's still not high. First serve is way long from Swiatek. She went for a little bit too much there. Second serve, it hits 6 p.m. in Italy, 5 p.m. for me. I should be signing off soon, but I have no reason to do that right now. Advantage for Sabalenka. Swiatek is serving now. Out wide. Backhand Sabalenka cross court. Cross court Swiatek. Sabalenka goes for the entire forehand. The monstrous winner hits the net. And it's another break point saved by Swiatek. But Sabalenka kind of gave her that one.
She did give her that one. She absolutely gave her that one. Ouch.
That's the weakest shot we've seen so far in the not in terms of power, but it's in terms of execution. we've seen in this game for quite some time. First serve from Swiatek gets a huge return from Sabalenka, who then attacks with the forehand. Iga's forehand finds the net. Iga's turn to find the net. Advantage again for Sabalenka. Iga cannot seem to
So how many more break points are we going to see?
That's a fifth one. Sean making some points about the return. That's why I love women's tennis. The return game is brilliant. Very much. Oh, unreturnable serve from Swiatek. Another break point saved. Another break point saved.
Good time to pull that serve out.
Yeah, I was going to say the return being good in the women's game is much more relatable for those of us amateurs for whom maybe the serve is less important. Or maybe I'm just saying that because they get broken a lot. But anyway.
Probably the latter there, Nick. Probably the latter.
Yeah, maybe. Deuce. First serve just missed from Swiatek. She went for out wide, just missed it. Tension here. The tension is rife in Rome. We're taking so much time between first and second serves from both players at the minute. See, Iga now about ball toss. Iga's now batting the ball toss. What kind of second serve she's going to deliver? Kick her at the middle. Sabalenka tries to run around and hit a forehand. Gives Iga the time to hit a backhand up the line. Sabalenka still retrieves it. Backhand up the line again from Iga. Sabalenka going to have a short ball. Backhand again up the line from Iga. Forehand Sabalenka trying to accelerate. Puts it in the top of the net.
She lost her footing on that strike.
Yeah, the court was kind of open there.
She lost her footing.
So 5 break points gone.
Her back leg went, but she went to go strike it, so she lost all positioning.
I guess that's why Iga kept on going to that shot, because she knew Sabalenka would be off balance. That's the only reason I could think of for why she just kept on peppering up the line. First serve is out, again, long. What kind of result we're going to get on the second serve? Maybe Sabalenka is finding the second serve harder to deal with. Well, maybe not actually looking at the percentages. But second serve from Iga, kicks up. Sabalenka's forehand is into the net, struggling with the kick again. Iga survives. I am not sure how, but she has.
I really do not know how either. That's a big opportunity missed for Sabalenka there.
One game all. One game all. So there we go. Sabalenka, now how's she going to respond to this?
I think this might be a little demoralizing for Sabalenka, so she really had to focus more than ever at this point. 5 break points gone.
Backhand, great return from Swiatek, putting Sabalenka on the disadvantage. Short ball from Sabalenka that Iga puts away. She had so many options, so much space, and it's love 15. And there's a fist pump and a come on. Iga now deciding that she wants to get this momentum going. Let me just reply to a message here.
So yeah, as my voice is about to go, but we're going for it.
We'll keep going. I'm hoping Damien will show up at some point.
The line, all Swiatek just about get to that, but it doesn't go over the net. So that makes it 15 all.
Ghosty, I think I think you're being asked how much of an Anglophile you are.
What?
I think you're being asked how much you enjoy English stuff. I'm not sure. But yeah, as we get Sabalenka hitting a forehand cross court, I'm probably going to have to go after this game. Inside out forehand from Sabalenka, winner.
That angle really showed the height that both players take on the ball. Swiatek had the loop, had the height on it, whereas Sabalenka was just hitting it flat and low.
And that's where Swiatek's flat loopiness can work against you. If Sabalenka's got time to tee off and it's in the strike zone. If Swiatek's going to loop it and kick it, it needs to go higher. I'm saying this like she's not a setup, but anyway.
Right,
Oh.
second serve, cross court, backhand down the line by Iga. Oh, it
Oh,
just gets
Sabalenka
over the net.
just
Oh, that
over.
was jammy, like a sandwich from Sabalenka on that one.
Was that
forehand
deliberate?
didn't. I don't know. It didn't look deliberate.
We may have temporarily lost Biola. 40-15.
Yeah.
Sabalenka's
It's
gone
a
long.
net. Flies out there, but she's responded well at the moment to not getting that break in the last service game.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe that suggests that maybe this might be Sabalenka's set as the backhand ends up in the net.
In the net, and that makes it 2-1.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Right,
It seems like a really awkward point to leave because this match is really getting interesting now. But
it is. You have to follow it on your way to wherever you're going, Nick.
Oh no, I've got people coming around my house, so
you have it on in the background whilst you're entertaining.
Something like that.
Nick,
So we'll have to keep an eye on it.
The hostess with the mostest.
Indeed. Right. I will leave you to it. Hopefully your voice lasts.
Yeah.
And you'll get Damien helping you out. But enjoy the match. It should be a good one.
Cool. See you when I see you, Nick. Right. Okay. So as we've seen here, hopefully Biola will come back just as soon as the technical difficulties that she's experiencing get resolved, and then hopefully at some point we're going to get Damien, who's as you can guess, in the frets or in the thicket of challenger matches at the moment, as there are a lot of them taking place today, especially finals. But given the fact that it's the weekend before qualifying for Grand Slam, so a lot of the challengers are having their finals on the Saturday to allow people to get to Roland Garros. Ghosty saying Nick is hosting a weekly amateur Quidditch match. Yeah, he's head of a Hufflepuff house at the moment, just getting that sorted. Yeah, so we just rock on. I'm rocking on my own at the moment. This is riding solo, and that's not meant to be a Jason Derulo song reference at the same time. But as we currently have it 2-1 at the moment, Sabalenka did look very threatening on that last service game. So let's see how this service game sort of goes from here. So just an aborted ball toss there from Swiatek. And it then goes and hits the net on that first serve. Tries to go out wide. Unfortunately, no real height on the ball to go over the net. So Sabalenka, good forehand stroke, really deep. Really is on the attacking here. Cross court from Sabalenka, backhand by Swiatek. Sabalenka runs to the net, backhand down the line. Swiatek just about gets to it. And for the smash, down the middle, Sabalenka gets the first point to make it 15-all. 15-all, 15-love. 15-love is the word I'm trying to use there. Remember, if you haven't already, if you could please like the live stream, that'd be absolutely brilliant. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, or on Twitter, please do give us a like. And if you don't follow us already, please do give us a follow. As you can see from the bar, making its way down the screen below, as Sabalenka just swats away a first serve from Swiatek, and we're now at 15-all. As we've just gone past the hour mark on the Rolex clock at the backstage there. Cross court by Swiatek, cross court by Sabalenka. Down the line by Sabalenka. Iga just about gets to it, but Sabalenka comes to the net and smashes it away to make it 30-15. Just apologising for the ball going and hitting one of the spectators on the baseline, who's wearing a 4 shirt. For God of Thunder. So I think that's a cinema screens for anime picture as well. So a little bit of YouTube coming into the for Italico. Please excuse the coughing. We will hear less of it in a bit. So Swiatek here just missing the first serve. So something here for Sabalenka to be able to maybe get a hold of, get an attack of. Goes across court, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga up the line and into the middle of the tram lines. And that means that Aryna Sabalenka has two break points. Again, please put in the chat, what is the Italian for two? I've made the mistake once before. I don't want to make it again. And I'll be interested to know if anyone can tell me what that is, because I can't quickly look, because I'm making sure I'm giving you the commentary on this match. But big deeper return position from Sabalenka for this first serve, or walks a bit further forward though. Swiatek tries to go cross court, no luck, hits the net, so we're on to a second serve. So we're very much in the danger zone for the pole here, as Sabalenka is the Italian for number 2, Terry. Cross court by Sabalenka, cross court by Iga, up the line by Iga. Sabalenka just about gets a backhand back. Up the line again by Iga, just catches Sabalenka in no man's land and is able to win the first of those 2 break points. And when I say Italian for number 2, you know, the number 2 in Italian. You know, like in France, it's, you know, uno, dos. No, that's Spanish, dos. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit. For the French numbers there, but forget it. Thank you, guys. Backhand by Sabalenka. Oh, is that long? I believe that was long, and Sabalenka is unhappy with herself there. It's a forehand long, so that's both break points being saved by Swiatek. So Iga tries to go stick the ball in the air. Goes up across court. No such luck with that ball there. So we're now on to a second serve. A chance maybe for Sabalenka to get another break point. Maybe. Oh, wild forehand from Sabalenka. She just went to try and run around the forehand. And in the process, just didn't get the control that she needed on that one as it flies along off the baseline. Pronounced do or do. Well, thanks, Terry. Duh. So Iga goes up the line. Forehand by Sabalenka. Cross court by Iga, but it is a wild cross court forehand by Iga. And it goes out. So we are back to juice. So now in the situation where the sun decided to come out in outside my window, even though it's been hiding behind the clouds all day. The infamous cat may end up coming back out again. Yeah, the Sabalenka return was no good. So Iga, ball into the air, goes cross court, forehand by Sabalenka, forehand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, forehand by Sabalenka, cross court, other way down the line, or cross court again, cross court by both of them. Up the line by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, long. It is long. There was an opportunity there for Sabalenka on one of those cross courts to take it down the line for the winner. She doesn't take it, and Iga capitalizes. Sean asks, I don't know, Sean, I'll come to that question at the next sit down to do with Geneva, because of course that was the big news that broke yesterday. So Swiatek goes cross court, backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka into the net, and Iga Swiatek survives again. More break points saved on the Iga service game. Is Sabalenka going to rue all these missed chances? Very much. As we get Sabalenka, who's just throwing her racket down onto the ground, or just like, you know, flopping it along. Terry, I've never seen a wild card seed. They've happened a fair few times, Terry. I say a fair few times. They can happen. Not so much now because of the LE system that's now in place, the late exception or thing that's been brought in to sort of take away the use of wildcards for big players that are applying late to join tournaments. Forehand by Iga, forehand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, but only into the crowd. So that then means it is 15 love. Nearly hits the line umpire in the process. Somebody's beeping outside my house. So then we go cross court by Iga, down the line by Sabalenka, and it is long. It is long by Sabalenka on that one there. So Iga 15 all at the moment. This set just feels in the balance. It's quite in the balance at the moment. So Sabalenka goes cross court. Iga couldn't get it in. They stretched for it, but couldn't get it in. So 30-15 to Sabalenka. Okay, Sabalenka goes down the line. It's in. So very good ace from Sabalenka there to make it 40-15. So this is turning into a bit of a straightforward service game for Aryna. I was just seeing points won on serve stats massively increasing this set from 43 in the last set to 73 so far. Backhand by Iga. Oh, that's just slightly out. I do like some of Roddick's podcasts as well. He's doing some fantastic content on there, which is a good thing to be able to listen to on the way to work. When of course you're not listening to the latest videos from us. There's a little bit of a shameless plug there as Sabalenka just hits the ball out. But if you haven't already, and you want to listen to our WTA, ATP, and whatnot weekly shows and some of the big match reaction, do follow Talking Tennis on any podcast platform that you follow. That could be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any of the other ones. Please do, if you haven't already, give us a follow on those platforms. So Sabalenka goes cross court, backhand by Sabalenka there, and the ball goes out, and they're going to go to the seat with it being 3-2 to Sabalenka. I'm just going to take a quick break whilst they're sitting down, and then we'll come back and I will discuss the Djokovic question.
Ready? Play.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Just thought we'd show you some of the friends of the show that John has been collecting on his travels. But you make a good point. Just to come back, of course, the big news yesterday was that Novak Djokovic, in what seems like quite an unprecedented move for him, has accepted a wild card into the Geneva ATP 250 event, which is starting tomorrow. Funny enough, it's starting tomorrow. Qualifying taking place at the moment. He's of course will go in as the top seed with other players in the draw like Casper Ruud, Taylor Fritz, Sebastian Baez, Ben Shelton, and some other players like Jack Draper. And of course, the other big wild card that was announced was Andy Murray is playing that competition as well. And funny enough, the winner of Murray Haffman will play Djokovic in the second round because of course Djokovic gets a bye to the second round, being a top 4 seed. Given the way he's been playing and given that it's usually Ruud's favourite place, Geneva, one of his favourite places, you probably would say there would be 50-50 favourites for that title. But the interesting thing will be to see how well Djokovic can play, given the fact he needs those matches going into Roland Garros, so he can try and defend his title. As Swiatek is already 15-love up on her own service game. So Swiatek goes down the tee. Excellent serve there by Iga. She's apologising. She obviously didn't mean something on that ball, but she is 30-love up currently. Currently 30-love up there. So Iga goes down the tee, backhand by Sabalenka, but it was just clipped the net, so we're going to have a let called. So Swiatek goes cross court, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Swiatek, forehand by Sabalenka, really strong forehand from Sabalenka. Swiatek unable to get any control on that, and as such hits it out. So we're at 30-15, 30-15 at the moment. So it's all going okay at this point. Down the tee, forehand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand down the line by Iga, forehand by Sabalenka, and it's for the winner. So we were 30-love up for Igor Swiatek. We are now to 30 all. Sabalenka is making a bit of a charge on the Iga service game. Sabalenka determined, it seems, at the moment to get that break, just to get that break in the bag. She hasn't broken Swiatek yet in this match. We're midway through the second set. Backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga down the line, forehand by Sabalenka, but it is long. So Swiatek 40-15 up, is currently 40-15 up. Get a great shot of a woman playing on a phone as they win a very important point. Goes down the cross court into the net by Sabalenka, and that makes it 3 3-all. We are half. We could be potentially. We're certainly at definitely at least the halfway stage of the contest. Reminder that if Iga wins this set, she wins the match. Does the Madrid-Rome double. If Sabalenka can win this set, though, we go to a deciding set tiebreaker. So Sabalenka goes cross court, forehand by Iga. Cross court by Sabalenka, cross court by Iga. All goes at the net though. Iga down the line. Sabalenka just gets to it, backhand by Iga, and it is for a winner. Oh, that was some cat and mouse stuff at the net there by both those two players. Sabalenka trying to control the net right on top of it. Iga was just back on the baseline and having to basically, constantly keep on getting to these balls and trying to make it awkward for Sabalenka, and does so really well and effectively. Backhand by Iga, forehand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, forehand by Sab. Oh, that was a wild Sabalenka forehand, and that makes it 30-love. That makes it 30-love to Sabalenka. Also to Swiatek. If I can say it better, that'd be even better. 30-love. Oh, just framed the racket. Just didn't time the contact point correctly. Sabalenka, ball into the air, goes cross court, forehand by Iga. Sabalenka comes to the net. Oh, goes to hit Swiatek. Somebody's trying to look at the mark. Referee is saying that the ball is well in. What are you trying to say that the mark's out? Yeah, it was well in. Sabalenka goes cross court. Forehand by Iga. Forehand by Sabalenka. Long. Ooh, that looked long. It's called long. And I think we're in a situation where Swiatek now has 2 break points. Oh no, they're replaying the point. Cross court, forehand by Iga, forehand by Sabalenka, cross up the line by Iga as a lob, but doesn't work. 30 all. Oh no, hang on. The scorecard's been. It is actually a break point for Swiatek at the moment. So it was 40-15. Sabalenka won the point to make it 40-30. Iga, one more break point chance. Goes cross court, backhand by Iga, but that was just slightly out. So on to a second serve. Chance here for Iga Swiatek. So Sabalenka goes cross court, backhand by Iga down the line, forehand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka into the net, and that makes it Iga Swiatek with the break point in the second set, making it 4-3. And it looks like she may be on course to take the Rome title as Mr. Damien has cursed, not Hurst, as a Mr. Curse.
Hello, yeah. Looks like I'm joining at the right moment, you know. Probably not going to join for long then, but we'll see. I've been like following kind of on and off. Honestly, was a bit more invested in the Tunis final. But last time we did Swiatek Sabalenka, right? Last time we did Swiatek Sabalenka, it was pretty awesome. Has today sort of excited you just as well?
It's not lived, unfortunately, Damien. It hasn't lived up to the epic that we were involved with for 3+ hours. Well, what was effectively this time, like 2 weeks ago. Near enough at a similar time as well, but no, it hasn't really. Both players, first set, you could say probably Sabalenka was playing like a 5 out of 10 level. Swiatek more of a 7 out of 10. But I have to say the second set it has picked up a bit. Certainly would say both players are getting towards 8 out of 10 with their level of performance. But we haven't really seen sort of the epics, breaks here, breaks there, real strong holds here or whatnot from any of them. Sorry to say, Damien. Maybe because you joined, that will start to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the second set has definitely been much, like really different to the first, right? I mean, the first was just a total demolition, but indeed Sabalenka has managed to at least keep it closer. But yeah, it's not looking too bright. I mean, Rome is like a bit faster this year for sure. It's been very warm, but still, like compared to the Madrid conditions, yeah, just so much tougher to hit through Iga. She can't really use that drop shot, right? That she's been like wooing everyone with the entire week, the entire fortnight. I mean, she's used it like on 2 or 3 occasions, I think. But I mean, most of the time she's just not really able to with the sort of shots that are coming off Iga's racket, right? So it's not really helpful that she's not going for it. But she does seem like a little like after this break at 3-all just now, like she does seem a little, I don't know, just not disinterested now, but just frustrated to the point where it's really like stepping in and yeah, just not allowing her to play at her best.
Yeah, just a bit disheartened, I think is a good word to use, I think. Yeah, been a set and a breakdown, and Iga just looking in real control. She had 2 break points. She had 2 chances on 2 Iga service games, multiple times to try and get that break and didn't get it.
Yeah, was it like what 7 this set or something like that? I'm not sure. It was definitely 5 in the first game, right? And then also
certainly something like that. Certainly something like that. It's been it's a classic thing. You don't take You don't take your chances. You're not going to get the You're not going to get the wins. And then up the
Yes,
line, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand up the line by Iga. This could be a game. This is going to be a game to love, and it is a game to love. It is now 5-3 to Iga Swiatek.
Mentioning the name of one of our, well, let's say, channels that do something pretty similar. There, but well, I'm seeing some quotes from Sabalenka as well. To Maria Cicek? What's your mood today? You're like so strict on time.
Yeah, Sabalenka, it's just me, holding the rules of the game, using the rules of the game.
Yeah, there's gonna be some pretty amazing stats to talk about after the match. I'm pretty sure if Swiatek wins, especially. But I'm gonna so far just give Sabalenka the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna still treat her like she's in the match because she is in the match. But well, she needs to sort things out very quickly, and just seems a bit on edge right now.
Yeah, has to start by holding a serve here, and hitting that first backhand long is not going to do that. She does not want to be. She doesn't want to be losing by 2 double breaks in this final in both sets.
Yeah, still hasn't broken Swiatek today, but of course, 7 break points. So it's not like she can't do it.
That was just slightly long there. How was the Tunis final, by the way?
The Tunis final was actually pretty good. I think there was a very clear difference in terms of how they handled pressure. And, Royer went up in both sets very quickly. And then near the end of those sets was 10 times worse. But it made for a pretty exciting battle, actually. Lots of lots of cross-court rallies on the backhands, which also is a nice dynamic there because Rokabata is a one-hander. It was okay. 3 challenger finals today, probably the worst of them, but still every single one was very entertaining. Of course, tomorrow, Bordeaux and Turin will finish.
Yeah, so what was the best challenger final you had?
This week so far, I think Faria Emer in Orange for sure. That's probably my match of the week. We'll see by the time I make the poll, by the time I have to talk about it on the Challenger show. But that was really awesome earlier today. 2 points away now. I don't know where you are on my screen. I'm probably gonna on your screen. I'm probably gonna let you live talk through the last moments because I'm assuming I'm much faster. But
I am currently, as I'm just waiting for this point to end, forehand by Iga cross court, internet by Sabalenka. So it's now 30-all on the Sabalenka service game. Swiatek is determined to get it done here. She wants to be picking up that beautiful trophy, and it's a proper trophy, this one. Not the one that
is this a dig at Madrid?
This was a dig at a lot of tournaments and their trophies, to be honest. Absolute disgrace. But Rome, proper silverware, you're happy to show that off in your collection. Ball gets hit out, so we're at 30. So second serve here. Second serve. Goes down the line, backhand by Iga, forehand by backhand, forehand, cross court, out, and we are at a championship point. Championship point here, Damien. Is Iga Swiatek about to do the Rome Madrid double? Not done since Serena Williams back in 2013.
And also not done yet in the in the expanded format. I know it's nothing really because it was only introduced last year, but I mean, well,
It's a caveat to add on. But not yet, as Iga near enough slips. So Sabalenka goes cross court, forehand by Iga. Forehand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, backhand by Sabalenka, backhand by Iga, backhand down the line by Sabalenka, cross court though by Iga, down the line though by Sabalenka, and it's long, and it is another championship point. We get a shot of the ball mark on the ground, and we can see that it is clearly long. So Sabalenka. Okay, Sabalenka goes to cross court. No, goes out though on the down the line. Oh, God, speak, James. Down the line serve. That's the word I'm trying to use. Okay, so now we are on to a second serve. Sabalenka goes cross court. Backhand up the line by Iga. Sabalenka just about into the net, and that's it. Bit less dramatic than what we could say happened 2 weeks ago, but Iga Swiatek has done the Madrid-Rome double. She has picked up her third title at the Foro Italico to be what feels like the undisputed main person on the tour at the moment for clay court tennis. Absolutely puts away Sabalenka in 2 straight sets, as Nick predicted, funny enough, in 2 with 2 double breaks. I mean, that was a dominant performance by the world number 1. She's absolutely ecstatic. This gets seen as the main tournament you want to be picking up and winning to really show your chances at Roland Garros, and she has done that. What do you think then, Damien?
Yeah, I mean, you said a few things that I want to touch on. I don't know where to start, but yeah, the Rome event, I think, especially on the women's tour, where we have this weird situation, the biggest events, we have Stuttgart on clay, of course, we have Stuttgart where it's indoors, it's slick. Then you have Madrid where it's altitude. And like by the time you get to Rome, you only really have 2 events where you can warm up for Roland Garros, unless you want to play Strasbourg as well, which I guess some players will be doing, especially in the WTA. But for someone like Swiatek, this is her kingdom, Rome, Roland Garros, and definitely good for her to sort of reestablish that ahead of Paris. I've said before that I think the only thing that can really make her lose at the French, I think, will be nerves and just that sort of position of entering the event, as a 50-50 against the field, or maybe even something in that ballpark anyway. Last year in the final against Muchova, she was, of course, kind of struggling with that too. But yeah, as a whole, I think so far when Sabalenka and Swiatek play on courts like this, it's generally been pretty easy for Swiatek. I did think today was going to be slightly more competitive. Maybe it could have been if Sabalenka takes these early break points. But yeah, it was just another one of these very efficient performances from Swiatek, which she sometimes does against Aryna. Maybe the WTA finals last year, for example, was also a great example. It was also a great match where she kind of played a similar brand of tennis as well, not going for anything special, but just kind of playing super solid, or of course moving around the court like a gazelle. And she's 38-4 for the season, which is ridiculous. And the 2-time defending champion at Roland Garros, she will also be entering that event on a 12-match win streak now. Oh, and you also said that the final was less dramatic. I think even the whole event was less dramatic. What was actually the toughest match that Swiatek had here? Kerber, Putintseva? It's not much, but it's the best that the opponents could muster against her, really. And all in all, she was extremely dominant here, which definitely just sort of reestablishes her as, well, the best player of the year so far, the best player on slow clay, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this is now her 4th WTA 1000 event, a 4th title at the WTA 1000 event. I mean, we're still in May, and she's picked up 4 of these. Could this potentially be the most dominant season Iga's ever had?
I mean, it will all depend on the slams, right? I mean, she had 2022 when she had that crazy win streak, and she gets 2 slams there. Is, for example, a season where she wins Roland Garros, wins the Olympics, but loses at Wimbledon and the US Open, goes for like a win rate, something along these lines. Is that going to be better? Depends how much you value the slams. I think Iga would be kind of desperate to pick up something outside of RG as well. But yeah, I mean, if she wins Roland Garros, I've said it before as well, that like if she wins Roland Garros, I think she stays at #1 all year. I think the only thing that can happen sort of to her in that department is literally she loses in Paris. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking right now at it, and like in 2022, I think her win rate was maybe something around 67-9. So I guess 37-4. You know, it is pretty similar. I think 2022, yeah, she was probably similarly dominant. She, of course, right now isn't on a crazy win streak, but I feel like the competition is also much stronger now than it was back then, especially with Rybakina and Sabalenka firing. So I don't think it would be her most dominant season, or at least, you know, it's kind of like similar to what she's done 2 years ago. But it's been absolutely ridiculous, and sort of, well, there's only one staying, and it's the Australian Open.
The Australian Open. Yeah, that seems like the only blip on the current 2023 calendar. So yeah, I mean, as you mentioned about 22, and that of course being the season that we're sort of comparing this to. Going into Roland Garros, there was generally the perception by the people that it was many pundits that it was Iga Swiatek versus the field. And would you take either the field or Iga Swiatek? Back then, I think a lot of people said they'd pick Iga Swiatek. What would you pick now if you're taking it into 24?
I would take the field. I mean, I would take Swiatek. I can't really go against her for one reason. Because if we think of like a potential match with Sabalenka, Rybakina, or some other top player, maybe someone she has a pretty poor matchup against, like, I don't know, Muchova last year, for example. Like, if we're thinking of a specific match like this, an individual match in the final or in the semis, yes, this can get complicated. And we've seen her last year, like, have some tightness near the end against Muchova, maybe even against Haddad Maia. But in terms of her ability to get to these stages, I mean, she's kind of, you know, the best. I don't, maybe not the best we've ever seen, but like just the consistency with which she completely demolishes every single player who's like not ranked in the top 10 or something like that, or, you know, not a flat hitter of both wings, really. Yeah, like that's something that the other contenders, the other major names, they don't have that. Like Sabalenka, Rybakina, they can only lose early and no one will be surprised. Whereas Swiatek, usually the first few rounds at Roland Garros is just like, what? She's losing 2-3 games somewhere. Like we have all of these matches when she basically, we wait until she finds her range and then it's just over. And the other opponents, they don't have that. So we don't really have a guarantee that we're going to get Sabalenka, Rybakina that deep. And even if we do, clearly Swiatek on slow clay, I mean, she's beaten Goff and Sabalenka here so confidently. So like on slow clay, she's clearly ahead of them as well. So even though it's 7 matches, even though so much can go wrong, I couldn't really say the field here.
Interesting. This now, of course, is quite a thumping victory, and it's coming off the back of her losing her, title in Madrid, to Iga. Do you think there could be some serious scar tissue that could start to emerge in the eyes of Sabalenka when it comes to this matchup?
Given what happened in Madrid, probably not. I know, scar tissue can also emerge because you didn't take your chances, but like she didn't really have any match point there that she had to play on. I think all of them was like Swiatek dominating the +1 shot, so it was shorter rallies on serve. And I think she, given what sort of person she is, what sort of fighter she is, I think Aryna will probably be thinking about it. Well, I was super close to her in Madrid. Why can't I beat her if we meet soon? And, the clay season is going to last forever. I mean, soon enough, we might get them playing, I don't know, at Wimbledon, for example, or on a faster hardcourt in the North American hardcourt season. And then Aryna will definitely be coming into the match thinking, okay, I mean, if I play well, I'm probably going to win, actually. So yeah, I don't think so. Although, yeah, if they face it Roland Garros in the final, then Aryna is probably going to be like, oh no, her again. But I think she would still, give her absolute best, and I do respect her, grit and determination a lot. Today, maybe she kind of went away after the break in the second set, but it's not like it didn't like take a while for us to get to that point too.
Yeah. So you could make a good point. Do you think this could be the Roland? Do you think this could be the Roland Garros final that we're seeing today between these two players?
It was super close last year, but again, I kind of think that Swiatek is very much guaranteed to like go into like the quarters or the semis. Aryna is much more vulnerable, and I think even these Rome and Madrid runs kind of show you that, right? I mean, here she saves 3 match points against Svitolina in the 4th round. Volinets takes a set of her. In Madrid, there were also all these crazy matches she was playing with Linette, Montgomery, Daniel Collins, of course. There she was very close to losing Rybakina in the semis as well. I mean, Rybakina served for the match, and it would have been a very decisive victory as well, 6-1, 6-4 if she served it out there. So I think Aryna is definitely more vulnerable. Maybe we didn't see it last year really at Roland Garros. I think there was only this one match against Sloane Stephens on the way to the semis, where like she was kind of struggling, but otherwise, I think that she's definitely one of the players who is going to be, one of the favorites and stuff. But I just don't think she's the same sort of guarantee as Iga simply.
No, that's some good points there. Good points there. I mean, what we will, we'll now probably start to draw this to a close, just so if you can go off and watch the trophy ceremony if they so wish, and we kind of gone through these bits there. So you, there's not real much that we could end up set again. I guess the last question would be, who do you think could be the biggest disruptor to Swiatek's hopes of making it a 4th Roland Garros?
I really don't know. Like, do I trust Jelena Ostapenko to get there in the, I don't know, where would they play? It would have to be like the quarterfinals, I think, right? So do I really trust her to get there? Not really, but maybe if that matchup happens again. I mean, you've got some players like Alexandrova or Garcia who have been troubling her, of course, very much natural with their games. But then again, on slow clay, I mean, she probably is equipped to handle that. Of the two, Rybakina, Sabalenka, maybe Rybakina is a little more troublesome for her. But yeah, I think if she loses, it's probably going to be to a big name or like one of these problem players for her. Like, I don't think it's going to be someone random. So yeah, I guess I just kind of have to say still Rybakina or Sabalenka, which is a good position to be in because, she can only play Aryna in the final, and Rybakina may be in the final, maybe in the semis. So probably one of these, if anything. It would definitely be a very big upset if she lost to someone, let's say, not top 10, or again, like Ostapenko, Alexandrova, and that kind of bunch.
Yeah.
Collins,
I'd agree on that.
Daniel Collins, by the way. Daniel Collins, if she plays Swiatek, that's going to be super rough. I want to change my vote to Daniel Collins.
Okay.
But that's also, I think, Ostapenko-like, right? That they can only play in the quarters, I think.
Yeah, so you'll go Daniel Collins as the best disruptor to Iga's run to a potential French Open 4th title. Well, that then sort of leads up with that. I just want a quick answer. Just thinking ahead to tomorrow's match, who are you picking for the victory between Jarry and Zverev?
I mean, probably Zverev, but with someone like Jarry, like with the weaponry, you can never really be sure, right? But I do think that Zverev is probably going to be too solid in Rome. That's kind of the idea. Of course, he was super close to losing to Tabilo. But yeah, I mean, I would still go Zverev. I'm expecting Zverev.
You're going Zverev. I'm going to have to go Zverev as well, unfortunately, on that one, just because it's such a difference in terms of quality. And that there ends it there. Well, thank you for joining, Damien, to sort of finish up the show. We had thanks to Nick as well, who's currently hosting the best dinner party ever, somewhere in the north of England. And also Biola, who unfortunately had to cut off because of some power issues. Join us tomorrow, hopefully, for the men's final, as we are getting, Roland Garros is not only just over the hill, we're seeing it very clearly down the back of the valley. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.